Following some breaking news out of Midtown, police telling us a taxi crashed, hitting as many as 5 people, also crashing into the building. This all in a very busy area of 29th Street and Broadway. Dan Rivley has been working the scene here, speaking to eyewitnesses. He joins us now. Dan, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Shannon, here's what we know so far. The FDNY confirming 3 people seriously injured. Witnesses say more people injured. Could be as many as 5 people were injured when the taxi driver you could see just behind, threatening injuries. That's the latest from here on Broadway at West 29th Street. Shannon, we're going to send it right back to you.
All right, Dan, thank you. And again, just repeating what Dan said there, a total of 6 injuries that we are hearing from the fire department. 3 serious, 3 non-life-threatening. Anthony Pascal also has been following this as well. And Anthony, you hear non-life-threatening, you hear serious. Still, though, this could really mean something life-changing for some of these victims, and it's scary for people to hear about because this is a place where people walk every single day. There's Black Seed Bagels right there, many pedestrians just in the lunch hour. So certainly here is a map so you can see exactly what we are talking about, but just a devastating story in Midtown.
It's a tragic story, Shannon, and I can tell you that I listened to the full interviews with those people that Dan Rivley spoke to, and when you listen to that, it is extremely disturbing to hear the types of injuries of the victims there. At least 2 people who were on the scene reported that the taxi driver actually hit someone on a bicycle and then for some reason sped up and
what you said it like
to this. Police still on the scene. They're talking to the several people that watched this happen. But what we don't know right now is just what caused that taxi driver to hit at least one person and then go on to hit several others. Shannon, we should mention that the Department of Emergency Management is asking people to avoid this entire area of 29th Street and Broadway, as it is still a very active scene. And we can also tell you through police that the taxi driver did remain on the scene and they are talking to him.
He did. So that investigation continues, and we will bring you the latest on this as we get more information. Until then, more news straight ahead. I'm Shannon Ferry. It is 3 o'clock, and we are following that breaking news out of Midtown where police say a taxi crashed and injured as many as 6 people. This taxi apparently hitting right into a building, all in the very busy area of Broadway and West 29th Street. We are also hearing that there is going to be a press conference in about 15 minutes from now. Take a look at your screen. This is the spot on the map where we are seeing this tragic incident. Hearing there are 3 serious injuries and also 3 non-life-threatening injuries. Dan Rivley is at the scene. We are hoping to get a report from him. Anthony Pascal is also here following these developments. Anthony, we were talking about some of those witnesses that Dan talked to and just the horror in their eyes, what they saw, people fighting for their lives, trying to get out from under this taxi.
Definitely a tragic scene takes out, but we do know that this was indeed a very tragic situation in broad daylight right in Midtown today.
And Anthony, since the pandemic started and we saw the rise of outdoor dining, we have seen these fears from people sometimes not even wanting to outdoor dine, especially when it's off to the sidewalk, because of these very fears that if a car perhaps jumps the curb, they could be seriously injured. Let's listen to some of that sound that Dan Rivley got from the scene.
Once he hit him, we screaming, "Yo, hit the guy who hit the bicycle. Get some water and come out and help people."
It hits home for everybody because this could be anybody walking the street at any time. And I think it's a tragic situation, but that's also what makes it so difficult for witnesses like the one that you heard from to take in something like this. Anthony, I do want to point out that we are officially getting word of that 3:15 media briefing, so we'll be waiting for that. Just a couple of minutes here. Members of the NYPD will brief us, and we hope to get some more information because, as you said, what we're still trying to figure out is how did we get here? We're trying to put together the bits and pieces from these witnesses, but what led to this taxi cab driver doing this?
I want to touch on what you just mentioned before, and that is, this is life in New York City, and this is why these types of stories, 15 or so, we say that because the NYPD not always prompt when they hold briefings like this, but our Dan Rivley is there, and we hope to get more of a sense as to exactly what happened here, as well as more, Shannon, on the condition of those 3 people who the initial reports are they were very seriously hurt.
Very serious, and also hearing from those witnesses, from what they saw, it looked like they were in a lot of pain. Do want to mention those patients taken to Bellevue Hospital, Bellevue 29th and 1st Avenue, so not too far from where all of this went down. And we will get some more information from that briefing. Also want to mention that officials continue to say avoid that area of Broadway, 28th and 29th Street, because they are doing this investigation, and you will see an emergency response there. We will have more news on this coming up. And welcome back once again. Just about halfway through the hour, and we have a lot to get to. But first, let's go ahead and get a look at your forecast. And let's start by taking a quick look outside. Just how gorgeous is this shot? We have sunshine now, but showers will come our way tomorrow. Doesn't sound like they're going to be too bad, though, so that's the good news. Meteorologist John Davitt will join us in just a few minutes with all of those details. A taxi driver strikes a cyclist, loses control, and careens into a busy area in Midtown. Witnesses jumping in to try to save the wounded, some of them just walking in the streets. So you can imagine this was a scary scene for everybody there. New York One's Dan Rivley has been speaking to witnesses. He was also there at the briefing earlier today with the NYPD. Hi, Dan.
Shannon, NYPD and witnesses describing a horrific crash involving that taxi driver, a cyclist, and people just enjoying a sunny day here on Broadway in a very busy, very lively area. I'm going to step aside.